Good morning everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we're headed from Auckland down to the stunning Waiotapu volcanic centre. We started our journey in a mild, rainy, foggy, misty morning. The roads were wrapped in soft clouds and the whole drive had this peaceful, dreamy vibe. Even though the weather wasn't perfect, it actually made the landscape look even more magical. As we continued further south, the sky slowly began to open up. The mist lifted, the rain faded. Waiotapu Thermal Wonderland is one of Rotorua's iconic geothermal attractions. Now, a quick bit of background before the eruption begins. The Lady Knox geyser is a natural geyser, but what makes it unique is that it erupts in a controlled way every day at around 10:15 a.m. Why does this happen? Well, deep underground, there's a buildup of hot water and steam. The geyser has a narrow tube-like structure, and when the pressure becomes strong enough, it erupts naturally. But to make it predictable for visitors, the staff add a special surfactant. This breaks the surface tension of the hot water inside the geyser, allowing the steam to escape rapidly and create that tall, dramatic eruption you're about to see. Alright, enough talking. Enjoy the show!
Where you park today, not far behind you, there used to be an open prison camp, which was utilised as a labour camp. So all those that were incarcerated into that camp were used to come down to this area here. As far as your eye can see, right behind me, they used them to clear all the land of the manuka, kanuka and the scrub in the bush. They did this in order to prepare the land for plantation. The result of that plantation, folks, is our beautiful forest that stands behind me, called Waiotapu Forest. She is New Zealand's largest man-made forest and the third largest man-made forest in the world. She extends to over 300 kilometres long. Well, as you can imagine, that would have been a pretty mucky job. So, a gang of men came down, clearing the land, and by chance, a group of them came upon a hot spring. Not having this resource back in the camp, they utilised that spring for their own needs. So they used it for their bathing and their laundry. With the soap that they made back in the camp, out of natural ingredients, they used the soap to come down as well and bathe and clean their clothes. Upon doing this, in our beautiful cauldron here, folks, we have 3 beautiful layers. At the bottom is a very hot layer, then we go to a warm and then a cold. With the introduction of the soap, it broke the surface tension right at the bottom on that hot layer. Without the gentleman realising this huge explosion erupted the geyser into a 10-20 feet high geyser. You can only imagine the fright that they all got. So whilst they're doing well, I know I bathe with nothing any notice. Hence the reason we lock our gates after the presentation, so the safety of the public is our first concern. Okay, with that, how did she get her name? Our wonderful Governor-General back in the day, Lord Ranfurly, he was our 13th Governor-General of New Zealand at that time, had heard about this beautiful area and decided to visit. With him, he brought his beautiful daughter, Lady Constance Knox. The love he had for his daughter was so great, and seeing the beauty of our beautiful geyser, he decided to bestow her name, Lady Constance Knox, onto our geyser. Hence, we have our beautiful Lady Geyser, our Lady Knox. Okay, so my dears, just as I said, a little story about how she was discovered as a geyser, how she got her name, and how there were many naked men running around back in the 1800s. I'm going to get my beautiful colleague, Moi, to recreate that day that those gentlemen found her as a geyser. But please, Moi, keep your clothes on, I've just come back from sick leave. I don't want to turn around and have to take more time off. Okay, so give a big hand of applause for Moiranga. Woo! Go Moi! going to get undressed.
When I say I am, you say hands up. I am. I am. You.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Constance Knott, thank you once again for your pleasure, for your presence. Enjoy the day with Waiotapu Thermal Wonderland. Be safe, happy holidays, and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. Everybody stand up. 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 Turn left. Get out that way, please.
Hope you enjoyed the Lady Knox Gazer show. Once the Lady Knox show finished, we headed back to the car park, parked our vehicle properly, and made our way into the main Waiotapu Thermal Wonderland. This place is huge, colourful, and full of geothermal activity. So we're going to take you through it slowly and steadily. As we begin the walk, you'll notice the strong smell of sulphur, that classic Rotorua scent. It's completely normal and part of the geothermal environment. The pathways here are well marked, and each stop has its own unique features. First up, we're passing through the bubbling mud pools and steaming vents. These are created by underground heat interacting with minerals and groundwater. The constant bubbling is a reminder of how alive this volcanic landscape really is. Waiotapu Thermal Wonderland, near Rotorua, New Zealand, is a vibrant geothermal park, famous for its colourful pools, bubbling mud, and geysers like the daily erupting Lady Knox Geyser, featuring unique sights such as the orange rim champagne pool and the bright green Devil's Bath, accessible via well-defined walking tracks with a visitor centre, cafe, and cashless payment system. The mud at Waiotapu fizzes and fumes because it's a highly active geothermal area where underground steam and hot fluids heated by volcanic activity mix with surface water and rock minerals, creating acidic clay that bubbles up, producing a hot, steamy, muddy slurry. This vigorous bubbling and steaming is caused by gases like carbon dioxide and sulfur, making it a boiling mud pool, a key feature of the Rotorua region's geothermal wonderland.
What's in my pot?
One of the key features and attractions of Waiotapu Thermal Wonderland are the bubbling and shimmering mud pools, which you are viewing on the screen now. As we continue, you'll see patches of bright yellow, orange, and green. These colors come from different minerals like sulfur, iron oxide, and algae that thrive in hot water. It almost feels like walking on another planet. Now we're approaching one of the highlights, the Champagne Pool. This is the largest hot spring in the area, and its name comes from the tiny bubbles rising to the surface just like a glass of champagne.
You can go ahead.
没斜，你在这个角度上就能拍到这边，直接拍的话，它会这个挡得很严重。我就感觉少，这样的交易有。
The vibrant orange edge is formed by deposits of arsenic and antimony sulfides. It's one of the most photographed spots in New Zealand, and you can see why. Next, we're headed toward the Devil's Bath, a bright neon green pool that looks almost unreal. The color comes from a sulfur and minerals suspended in the water. It's one of the most striking features in the entire park. As we walk through the final stretch, you'll notice some more steaming vents, mineral terraces, and crystal formations. The landscape constantly changes due to geothermal activity, so no two visits are ever exactly the same. As we walk through the final stretch, you'll notice some more steaming vents, mineral terraces, and crystal formations. The landscape constantly changes due to geothermal activity, so no two visits are ever exactly the same. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey from Auckland to the Waiotapu Volcanic Centre. We hope you enjoyed the geyser show, the thermal wonders and the beautiful landscapes as much as we did. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more travel adventures. See you in the next one.